Good evening, guys, and happy Wednesday to all of your sunshiny faces. So I was telling you guys yesterday how today was my mom's birthday, and then also too we were going to go and see my grandpa. They have like a county fair kind of thing, I guess, you know, like from you know, the area that they're from. So I'm not sure exactly if it's like only this kind of area or like only this county does it, or exactly how it works. I don't know if there's like from other places around, you know, like other counties do this as well. Like I said, I'm not entirely sure. They have quilts that they ended up having, I think it was 13 in total, although I want to say only 12 were there, but they had quilts for like veterans, and it was like to like a way to like thank them for their service, and just like a special kind of like, you know, like ceremony for them. And it was like a mix of like different like veterans that served at different times and stuff like that, and so my like you can have like, I think my grandma like nominated him for it, and so then today at the at their county fair is when they present them to all of the veterans that were like nominated for it, and so like I said, it was really cool. It was like about an hour long, like kind of like you know, ceremony presentation kind of thing. There's actually a lot of my family, most of them that live around in the area were pretty much there. I have some other family members like on my grandpa's side that are out of state, but other than that, like I said, I think for the most part a lot of them were there. But this morning it was actually funny because Jack had to, I was telling you guys how he had to go to the football practice this morning that started at 5 o'clock, and so he ended up getting up and ended up going like around again to 5 o'clock or so, or sometime before then. And even though he got his license a little bit ago, he actually has not, because I was telling you guys too, with the new car that we got that's kind of like for him, and kind of like my dad's too, kind of just like the extra vehicle that we have, but he hasn't driven it at all, and so he didn't really feel very comfortable driving on his own yet. Like his school, like to college, it's a little ways away, like, you know, it's not just, you know, the high school, which is, I think I want to count, it's under 10 blocks to get to high school. It's very short, and so, you know, but like he's never even driven that far on his own yet. So this morning, because, you know, again too, it's my mom's birthday, she wasn't really going to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and take him to football practice, which I told you guys they moved it because they're doing football practice in the morning today and tomorrow because of how hot it was. Which again too, we went to that ceremony for my grandpa, and they originally were going to have it outside in like the grandstands. They moved it inside. It was a little bit cooler, but there was no air conditioning inside of like the building, and they had like fans and stuff like that, and the air did circulate a little bit, but honestly it was so hot. It was like ridiculous. And the thing is that it's so hot and humid, the air is just very, very thick, and it's like heavy out. Like the air just feels heavy, and like I was like saying that, I was like, it's like tough to breathe almost because like of how dense the air is. Like that's why I was like, I'm like taking these like deep breaths while I was there, because I was like, it's not even so much the heat, it's just the humidity and the thickness kind of the air. And so like I said, it really it was not the most comfortable. Like it's funny, almost everybody else was like sweating. I never ended up really sweating so much as, like I said, it was just the air that was so hot and so thick that just made it like I said, very uncomfortable to be outside. And so again, it's supposed to be as hot tomorrow, which is why they're getting up again at 5 o'clock to have practice again on Thursday. And then I told you guys though, my dad's home from work tomorrow because he is going to take my mom to a doctor's appointment, and then after that though, they have a football dinner, but that's not until later in the afternoon. So normally what they do on Thursdays is they have practice, then they have the team dinner, and so because they're doing the practice in the morning, they're gonna have like a period of time before they're gonna have the team dinner after that, and so because of Jack's schedule too, it's like we'll kind of work out, I guess, a little bit better this way. And the same thing too that I was telling you guys like yesterday, or like today, that with them having the practice in the morning though, which my dad had work though today, so he couldn't go, but because of that, they were able to not, like, it was gonna have to be where they're gonna have a missed part of practice, be able to go to see my grandpa tonight. So like I said, that the heat actually worked out a little bit in our favor because of that, and the things getting moved around. But yeah, it was hot out to sit out there today, which, like I say, it wasn't like all of too horrible, like I mean, it was pretty bad, but the thing is, like I said, it's just muggy out. It's just really, really nasty out. And so anyways, Jack ended up going there to football practice this morning. Then again too, later came home, and then we ended up, you know, like, he was home for a good portion of the day. And originally I woke up when actually he got home, which was about 8 o'clock. And then I was awake for a little while, and then ended up falling back asleep. And then after that, I ended up waking up once I fell asleep for a little while. So my sleep was already a little bit off. Then when we came home, we ended up actually, because you know, we knew we weren't going to be eating at home today, because of, you know, like I said, us being, it takes 2 hours to get to my grandparents. So that was the other thing too, even though, and like the quilt ceremony kind of thing, it was only like an hour long, or maybe an hour and a half. It's about 2-hour drive to get there, so it took us about 4 hours in total driving. It's probably maybe even a little bit less than that, but you know, so it wasn't like we were just like, oh, it's like, you know, 20-minute drive or whatever. We were, like I said, gone for a little bit of time in the afternoon, but again too, because of the way scheduling worked out with the football, it actually was, like I said, kind of good in that sense. But again too, it's just the heat today. So that's why though, when I ended up coming home, we ended up getting takeout, and so I was just eating it in my room, and then I finished, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna finish up watching this episode that I was watching, because I noticed I already started getting tired, and I was like, honestly, it's probably because I was outside in the heat. And again too, I never really like worked up a sweat or anything like that, even, because I mean, I was pretty much sitting the whole time, but it was just the heat or humidity and just the hotness from being outside was bad. And even though I was like guzzling down a lot of water, and you know, rehydrated and all that stuff, I was just super, super tired. And I think maybe too, because I woke up originally, like I said, when Jack was awake, I was awake for like an hour or so, and then I fell back asleep. And so I was like, yeah, my sleep is definitely probably off because of that. But then I ended up falling asleep watching a TV show, and then ended up waking up, and now I'm like, oh my goodness, I need to go and take a shower, wash my face, go and just get to bed. And yeah, so like I said, I think that I am also, in addition to being tired, maybe just from my weird sleep earlier today and like last night, but also too probably from being outside. Like, you know, it was hot, and I feel like too, heat can sometimes wear you out even if you're not really doing anything, which is why too, we're in a heat advisory. But like I said too, and it was like cooler in the building. I think it was just the humidity played a huge role in still how hot it felt and how hot it was, and like that was just really, really tough, kind of like I said, from that. And so it just felt worse. Like, it's just the stickiness and the humidity and all that stuff. So I'm gonna take a shower and you know, like I said, wash off a little bit from you know, the sweatiness of today. Even though again too, I was like, I've never felt like that, like being outside today, honestly, it was just so gross. Like before we even left, I was in the backyard, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this is like, it feels like stepping into a swimming pool. Like the humidity is just so like, you know, and it's not even like, you know, again too, you know, it was like 98 degrees today for a high, and like I said too, you tack on that humidity and it's really not fun. So anyways though, like I was saying, I'm gonna take a shower and get to bed and wash off the yuckiness kind of from the weather today. But I will see you guys all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love it if you'd subscribe, and I'll see you all very soon, shiny faces tomorrow. So bye guys.